Uh-oh. IGN has just released the top 10 best Sonic games. We have to check it out.
Sonic the Hedgehog's speed is unparalleled, and the only
this guy likes Sonic though
that can outmatch it is his popularity. The few video game characters are as iconic as the blue blur, but we're here specifically to celebrate the mainline Sonic video game series and pick the very best. Now, as for our criteria here at IGN, we tried to rank these games based on historical significance.
Historical significance is actually very important to how you rank games. SA2 at the time of its release was awesome. Yes, some things didn't age as well, but you don't understand what the game's significance was at the time.
And how well these games stand the test of time. Now, some games like Sonic Adventure 1 and the original Sonic the Hedgehog are important to the Sonic series and set the very foundation for both 2D and 3D.
Sonic 1 is mid though.
But we felt they both didn't quite hold up as well as their sequels when judged by a modern standard. So they just missed a place on this list.
Wait, what? Did he just say? Okay, he said Sonic Adventure. Okay.
Relevance and impact on the Sonic franchise. Not at all. Now, the 10 games on this list are the ones we feel.
You're going to tell me there's 10 games in the Sonic series better than SA1?
Are the best examples of both classic and modern day Sonic style. So, with that said,
what
here are our picks for the 10 best
Sonic
games as chosen by a handful of IGN's biggest Sonic fans.
Number 10, Sonic Frontiers. Wow.
Sonic Frontiers is an undeniably messy first attempt at
I really like Sonic Frontiers, so I'm not even mad about them putting it on the list.
More open Sonic game.
This is low key like low key top 5 for me. I have a lot of hours played in Frontiers. I have like I dead have like hundreds of hours in Frontiers. I genuinely really love the game. Just make a couple things better, and
underneath all the jankiness and
Frontiers 2 will be crazy.
A great foundation for the series to improve upon in the future. Now, released in November of 2022, boosting around Frontiers' set of open zones is genuinely fun.
Yes, it is.
Platforming challenges to upgrade Sonic skills and
don't tell Twitter though.
Traversable rail system creates a constant sense of progression as you explore at your very own pace. The Starfall Islands is the Sonic series' first real open world, which drops you on a map with the ability to go anywhere your curiosity draws you to. Plus, the combat and enemy design play to Sonic's speedy strengths, with flashy encounters peppered throughout that don't overstay their welcome.
Yeah, I hate this boss. I hate the bosses that like literally trap you. First, they play the stupid cutscene, and then they trap you in an arena. It's like, bro.
Like Sonic Unleash's infamous Werehog bits, though that particular game is also one of our favorites. Now, all that combined with a decent set of traditional modern Sonic levels and the best use of Super Sonic the series has ever seen makes for a solid 3D Sonic game.
I mean, in terms of plot, yes. In terms of gameplay, I would argue that like the classics probably do it the best, no?
Like any of the other entries,
or even the boosting stages of like Generations or whatever
on this list.
Sonic Unleashed over Frontiers. Hot take. Hot take. I like Frontiers better.
Now, while IGN might have given this particular game a significantly low score upon its release.
Oh, yo, they're atoning. They're atoning for their past IGN Unleashed review.
The ardent fans of Sonic here at IGN consider this one to be one of those chaos diamonds in the rough, you could say. The Sonic Unleashed gets a bad rap, and
they're only showing the PS2 Wii version.
Focuses on its weaker elements, specifically the Werehog bits. Now, a lot of the criticism is warranted, but it also shouldn't entirely take away from the fact that when Sonic Unleashed is good, it's some of the best 3D Sonic there's ever been.
Bro, this guy, yo, I made a review like last week. He's saying the same things I'm saying. It's like, bro, the highest highs is what Unleashed has in the entire series. It hasn't been matched before or after.
2002, Unleashed remains one of the best looking Sonic games despite being several years old. Now, the soundtrack is fantastic, and above all else, Sonic Unleashed feels fast, which is important for any Sonic game. Now, it totally nails that sensation of being the fastest thing alive as you tear through levels.
Yo, why are they uploading these videos in like... This is 1080p 60. What is wrong with this video?
A trail of absolute destruction full of crushed boxes, tables, enemies, and more.
Did they record this on an actual Xbox 360?
Sonic games, but we still feel it deserves a spot on this list.
Sonic 2, my GOAT! My classic GOAT!
Definitely had to take a look at Sonic's roots and dash back to his Genesis days. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is still one of the best pure experiences of the Sonic franchise. It introduces us to his flying sidekick Tails, adds two-player co-op, and improves upon the formula established by the first game in just about every way. There's more zones, new enemies, new mechanics, and abilities while keeping true to the core essence of a Sonic game. You gotta go fast. The new zones like Sky Chase gave us our first look at the Tornado, Tails' biplane, and the Death Egg Zone pits us against an early version of an enemy that eventually became Metal Sonic. The Sonic 2 also introduced the Supersonic transformation into the franchise by having players collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds in a welcome improvement to bonus stages.
Sonic 2 is an underrated gem, that's a fact.
Best sequels to its lengthy list of improvements and
the game is so much better than every other classic game, I swear.
For both newcomers and veterans.
All right, what's number 7? Sonic CD over Sonic 2. Oh, hell nah. No. No. It's just wrong. I mean, it's an opinion, obviously, but it's just wrong, okay? It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Sonic 2, you go fast. Sonic CD, you don't go fast. Case closed.
Speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic CD feels like a more polished and confident version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It introduces
bro. It's more of like a confident, polished version of Sonic 1, if anything.
Us to Amy Rose and the version of Metal Sonic that we all know and loathe today. But the real star of the show in Sonic CD is its use of time
travel. Bro, the worst thing. The worst thing was when I'm going fast in this game, I accidentally hit the time travel thing and it brings me into this and it slows my pace down. It's kind of a mentality thing. Like, I don't like getting slowed down in these games. So if you like getting slowed down, you like exploring, this might be your game.
Go to the past, present, or future of the zones you're in. Now, the thrill of starting the time travel star boost and trying to maintain your speed to make sure you properly get transported to the past or future is always exciting. Now, you never know if you're going to successfully get to where you need to go or where you're going, and that is part of the adventure, the Sonic adventure. Ha! A Sonic CD doesn't...
Oh my god. That was forced.
Need this extra gameplay mechanic, but it had it anyway. And since Sonic is trying to collect the time stone...
Sonic CD is overhated. It's actually not a... It's actually better than Sonic 1, for sure.
Where Eggman's plans are foiled, well, Sonic CD basically did Avengers Endgame in 1993. That blue blur was ahead of his time.
Wow.
Damn. And that theme song, whew, legendary.
Okay, the OST definitely smacks in this game.
Now that's one thing across the board the Sonic games do right. I gotta say, catchy tunes no matter what.
They're pulling out all the talking points.
As you can already tell, the Genesis era Sonic games
3
are well represented.
A lot of people do consider this to be the best 2D Sonic game, or like better than the others. I like Sonic. I actually like Sonic 2 better. I think a start to finish playthrough Sonic 2. There's less bad levels.
On this list for a plethora of reasons. Now, each release on the Sega console got better while introducing new playable characters and mechanics. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, released back in 1994, feels like a superior experience of the early days of Sonic. Now, while both...
That's probably true, though. This is probably like, in terms of the scope, is probably the most ambitious classic Sonic game.
solid games.
I mean, it
as
is. It's subjectively
individuals,
true.
They feel incomplete. And so this combination offers a complete and rich experience.
Facts.
The level designs are some of the best in 2D Sonic history.
Probably
While it
true
certainly
also.
felt built and made for newcomer Knuckles, the levels still accommodate the playstyles and strengths for that of Sonic and Tails.
True. He's not wrong. I just like Sonic 2. Sonic Colors number 5? Top 5 ever. It's a good game, but I definitely like Frontiers over this.
Has some of the most imaginative and thrilling level designs in the entire Sonic franchise, bar none. Aquarium Park, for example, is arguably the best water level throughout the whole series. Asteroid Coaster, another standout zone in Sonic Colors, is just phenomenal in every aspect.
This game does the vibes pretty well, though.
While heavily on rails, the sheer spectacle is a sight to behold. Now, Sonic Colors does an excellent job of blending that high-speed boost-centric style with more methodical platforming and puzzle segments, while also filling every level with multiple paths. Now, back in 2010 and even to this day, Sonic Colors checks all the boxes. Now, on top of having an impressive soundtrack, great visuals, and smooth
Glad they're doing
gameplay,
Colors justice.
Sonic Colors is one game that any Sonic fan out there can enjoy to this day.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's good, like, casual experience. I think this is a game that almost anyone can have fun with, as well as Generations, of course. I think these are games you can introduce to anyone to kind of get them into Sonic. Number 4, Sonic Advance. Wow. I like Sonic Advance a lot, but to say that it's better than Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Frontiers, Unleashed, I mean, maybe. I'm going to be honest. The playthrough of this game is pretty fun until you get to, like, the last zone or two. So maybe. I don't...
Sonic's 10th
There's just something about putting a Game Boy Advance game this high on the list compared to, like, a full-blown 3D game is just... I don't know. This is my favorite Advance game, though.
Release of Sonic Adventure, but 2001 also saw the release of a 2D Sonic game, Sonic Advance, for the Game Boy Advance. Now, marking the first time Sonic made his way onto a Nintendo console, a historical moment for our little blue friend after
I guess so.
decades of console wars between Nintendo and Sega fans. Now, Sonic Advance keeps the...
This was a sign of capitulation and waving the white flag and joining the enemies.
Heart and soul of classic Sonic, while also updating his sprite and his abilities to be more in line.
That's facts. The advanced sprites are low-key fire. Like, these sprites right here, this is early 2000s. Like, this is synonymous with just, like, that era of the internet. Newgrounds, flash animations, and, like, peak. Literal iconic sprite. It may have never been topped.
Merging modern Sonic design. Sonic can grind on rails, there's a tiny Chow garden, and just overall, Sonic is far more expressive than in the older 2D Sonic games. Now, while the entire Sonic Advance trilogy includes some of Sonic's best 2D outings from the post-Genesis era, Sonic Advance remains the best in terms of consistency. It's not only a great starting point for the Game Boy Advance series, but also had some of the best level variety out of the entire Sonic Advance trilogy.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a shame
absolutely.
that Sega has yet to release or re-release these games beyond the Game Boy Advance.
Correct. He's right. He's right, by the way, guys. He's right.
Sonic Adventure 1.
SA2 number 3, of course. They're going to do the SA2 shtick, which, true. Obviously, I love this game.
Laid the foundation for what we'd soon experience in its sequel, Sonic Adventure 2. The Sonic Adventure 2 battle is...
Yo, where's Sonic Pocket Adventure in this list, though?
The GameCube port of Sonic Adventure 2, which improves the base game with better textures, multiplayer, new upgrades, and exclusive characters. Now, that base version of Sonic Adventure 2 is already damn good in and of itself and still stands tall to this day as one of the most beloved 3D Sonic games of all time. The parts of the game even made their way into the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie. Unsurprisingly.
He's right. He's right. He's right. He's right. Best story ever. Why do you think for the Hollywood movie, like, all right, we need to make a good Sonic. We need to make a banger Sonic movie. We're gonna obviously adapt SA2. It's the best Sonic story. Has not been topped to this day. I can't really. There's no arguing or debate. It's the best. It really, truly is.
The film featured Shadow the Hedgehog, who made his debut in the second installment.
Look at this boom. Look at this peak.
Series.
So
now,
cool.
While the Sonic and Shadow stages are obviously the highlights,
Facts.
with their fast-paced, action-heavy gameplay, there's a great blend of gameplay styling between the various different playable characters as well. Now, on top of all of that, Battle adds characters like Metal Sonic, Amy Rose in foot races, the ability to challenge friends in kart races, or have their chows compete. And then, of course, there's both the much beloved Chow Garden and that unforgettable soundtrack that just echoes in every Sonic fan's mind.
Yo, best level ever right here. Final Rush. Low key. Low key the best level in the game.
Sonic Mania is
Mania number 2. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
One of the best.
I mean, it is. Okay.
2D Sonic games since Sega pivoted to strictly third-party. A game made by fans for fans, Sonic Mania is a
hard to argue against it.
Hedgehog. Mania offers a fresh perspective of what put Sonic on the map, remixing the classic formula thanks to longtime fan and indie game dev Christian Whitehead's retro engine. It did all this while offering fast-paced gameplay, superb level design, and excellent pixel art.
They're going to do Sonic and Shadow Generations at number 1. We'll see.
Mania would have been great, even if it just stuck to the remastered and new versions of previous Sonic zones. But what truly makes it sing are the entirely original stages. Levels like Studiopolis and Mirage Saloon Zone offer the perfect counterpart to the comforting familiarity of the remastered stages. Replayability is also among the highest compared to other 2D Sonic games, thanks to the multitude of collectibles and rewards found off the beaten path.
Boring, though. Where's the hot takes, man? I mean, I guess the biggest hot take is leaving SA1 off the list.
For those reasons, Sonic Mania is our pick for the best 2D Sonic game you can play. And it is wholeheartedly a Sonic game that every single Sonic fan should play at least once.
What's number 1? Sonic X Shadow Generations. It's kind. I agree, but this is kind of like a fence sitter kind of thing. You gotta separate these two. You gotta separate these two. This is fence sitting right here. You gotta commit to an opinion. And hold it strong. You know, Generations and Shadow should be two. I think they're two separate experiences. But yes, as a collective package, best money you could buy for a Sonic experience is Sonic and Shadow Generations. Let's see what he has to say. But yeah, SA1 not being on this list is legitimately insane.
When looking at the lengthy list of games featuring our favorite Blue Blur, there really is only one game currently to put at the tippy top, and that's 2024's Sonic X Shadow Generations, a remaster of Sonic Generations that revisits and remixes some of the best stages, music, and
bro, why are they using like Switch footage, bro? This is insane.
Across generations of Sonic games.
Why are they allergic to 60 frames per second?
Already many people's favorites in the franchise,
True.
And for good reason. But now, with the addition of Shadow, it's gotten even better. Even in 2025, Sonic Generations remains the greatest celebration of Sonic's history, and in our opinion, the best combination of both classic and modern-day Sonic gameplay styling. So, a remaster of this classic game is one that...
I mean, it's only been done twice. In Forces and this game, there's a combination of classic and modern. This is definitely not the best classic, though, I don't think. I mean, it's fun, though. It's super underrated.
Welcomed among fans. Shadow's content absolutely shines in both 2D and 3D.
True.
And everything from its level design to his abilities and how they synergize are the new gold standard for Sonic games. Now, this remaster soars far above previous remasters we've gotten in the Sonic franchise, and hopefully will be the roadmap for future Sonic video games. Sonic Generations.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, open zone, yes, but also for cyberspace or individual levels, which they should totally do. Yeah, make it like Shadow Generations.
On its own is a game designed to evoke nostalgia.
Shadow Generations got me to speedrunning. Yeah, the tech in this game is wild, bro. The Chaos Sphere is really fun. Sonic Generations is always my favorite Sonic game, but remaster made it even better. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a good game. They didn't have to do anything, which they didn't really do anything.
but it never falls into the trap of relying entirely on fuzzy feelings from the past.
Facts.
And with the addition of Shadow's story during this time, we're treated to an all-new experience that seamlessly interweaves itself into the original generation's storyline. Sonic X Shadow Generations manages to incorporate all the elements that make 3D Sonic so damn special, all while finding ways to make them feel distinct and fresh, especially with the inclusion of the expansive Shadow the Hedgehog portion.
Yeah.
All these things result in an
They cooked
unforgettable
with this.
Sonic video game that at the time simultaneously takes us back to the past, gives us a glimpse at its future, all to find its way as our top pick
Wow.
for the best Sonic game
He's
to
right.
date.
It talked about the past, but also we're looking forward to the future. Shadow Generations really is the formula for the future as far as like, I feel like they just showed like, all right, they can make a really good game that more than most people like.
So those are our
SA1 needs to be somewhere. Yeah, the fact that it didn't make it. What was his reason? He was like, oh, because it had a sequel or something. That's like ridiculous. SA1 is far more than just like than that.
picks for the top 10 Sonic video games to date.
I mean, it's a pretty good list. It's a pretty solid list. There's really no big hot takes in here. Frontiers at 10 might ruffle some feathers. I mean, the fact that he put Unleashed, Colors, Advance, he put a lot of games in here over Frontiers. Advance at number 4 is pretty crazy. No Pocket Adventure or Sonic Schoolhouse, though, is a little upsetting.
Obviously, Sonic has way more road ahead of him, so there's bound to be future classics to add to this list. Now, would love to know what your thoughts are on our top picks and share with us your fond memories of these Sonic titles. Also, this is our list here at IGN. Please feel free to share with us your top 10 Sonic games in the comments down below. Even us here at IGN have vastly differing lists to this one.
Yeah, for sure.
We'd love to hear what you all think.
It was actually a pretty solid list, though, overall. Yeah, that's IGN's official Sonic list.